Waidsum Academy. Today we're taking ICT theory and we're in chapter 7, taking chapter 7, communicating ideas. Okay, IGCSE ICT. Now the first part is 7.1, which is the ICT used in everyday life. ICT used in our everyday life. So how do we use ICT in our everyday life? We use ICT, we don't know. We use the phone, we use the printer, we use the microphone, we use all of these things. They are ICT compliance, okay? So we want to look at how we apply ICT in our personal life, in our businesses, in the marketplace, how we use it to market, how we use it to, what we use it to for, what we use it for. Okay, in the entertainment, how we use ICT for entertainment, how we use ICT for business, how we use ICT for personal dealings, how we use ICT to sell products. So all of this, we want to look at it, okay? So why use IT to help communicate information? Why? In those days, we don't need IT for information dissemination. We write letters, we post letters, we go to post office, we post letters. So we didn't need information technology to send something. But today we use what we call, at that time it was called email. You mail a letter to someone, or you mail a document to an organization. If you apply for a job, you mail, you write, you post to the organization. But nowadays, we just send an email, electronic mail. We send an email. So that's ICT, use of ICT already. So when you send email, you go WhatsApp, you Instagram, you Facebook, all of this is ICT already. So when you're doing all of this, you're using ICT in your life. So we say, we often have ideas or information that we wish to communicate with our friends, with our business partners, with those that matters, okay, as it were, or to communicate in our workplace, to discern the information from the hierarchical order in the organization. So example of personal communication, you may want to tell your friends about a party, like probably a birthday party that you have it, and you may want to let others know how about the impact of the climate change, okay, in our life right now. So what we can do, you may want to let others know. So all these things that we didn't need IT before, now we need IT or ICT. Remember, ICT is information communication technology. Information communication technology. Why IT is just information technology. So it's relatively same thing, okay? So example of business communication, like in business environment or in working environment, you may want to tell the world about a new product that you have made or your company has manufactured, made or created. And in doing so, you have to carry out what we call marketing, business marketing. So you have to market the product, either using social media or using the print media or using the technology media, whatever media you're using. You're going to market this product and make other people to know about it and to like it and to want to pay a price for it. So you may have information that you need to pass on to all of the employees in the business, okay, in an organization. You have information you want to pass to all the staff, all the employees in the organization. You need probably an email to send one email to all the employees in your contact list in an organization. Okay, so all these are information dissemination in the workplace or in our friend environment, in ordinary personal environment with our relationship with the relationship with our friends and others that matters in our life. So in all of these examples, IT can be very useful, okay, to disseminate information. Now let's take a look at producing and editing pictures first, because sending images, graphics, images, videos are of today's way of communication. They are of today's way of communication, or easier way of making people to know about what we have, what we are doing. Because you see many companies, when they are advertising their brand now, they use videos and they send the video, they advertise with YouTube. Okay, YouTube itself is an information technology. So you advertise with YouTube and you make a video to advertise with YouTube, or pictures to advertise with other platform that involves ICT or IT. Now, the production of graphics and picture has been revolutionized by the use of what? The use of IT. In those days, it was analog. You print, there's this thing they call negative. They print the picture from the negative. It used to be black and white, and it was so ordinary. But nowadays, we have so many things. We produce quality picture, color picture. We can even Photoshop the picture. We can edit. We can do so many things. We can crop it, resize it, distort it, alter the color. We can change the color effect, and we can add effect to it, like the shadow, the glow, the text. We can add graphics like lines, circles, borders to the pictures, and we can even add text to our picture. So there's a whole lot of things we can do. Image editors such as Photoshop and computer users to easily manipulate the images that we have today. We can crop pictures, we can resize them, we can distort them, we can add effect, colors, graphics, and add whatever we mentioned. Okay, so we can print color picture and so on and so forth. So this is one way that we have enhanced communication. One way we have enhanced communication. We produce and edit picture that can be sent to others. Okay, then another thing is desktop publishing. Desktop publishing is also a way of how things have evolved over time. For example, we have the desktop publishing as a system of software and hardware that allows a user to create and print documents such as books. When you write a textbook, it could be a novel, it could be an academic textbook, it could be any book. So when you write a book, the books can be printed, can be published by printing, or can be published online. Okay, nowadays we publish books online, we publish articles online, we publish book chapters online, we publish research paper online, review papers online, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, we can also print them. Okay, we can have them as print documents. So we can have printed textbook, and we start to sell. Like the textbook you buy in your schools, they are printed, they researched, they're written about by someone, by an author, and they printed and they sold. And then we have posters. We can print posters and banners and so on and so forth. We can print flyers, magazines, newspapers, and so on and so forth. Okay, the newspapers we read, they be printed after the job of investigative journalism has been done, and then these papers are printed, and we buy and we read to get information on what is going on. Newspaper and magazines, they tell us what is going on. The flyer tells us a particular product someone is advertising, and the poster as well tells us what someone is advertising or what someone is displaying, and the books tells us a whole lot of ideas on what the knowledge that we need, about the specific knowledge that we need. So desktop publishing software is WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. That's the meaning of WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Meaning the document looks the same on the screen as it will when it's printed. So as it is when it's printed. So the way you see it on the screen when it's printed, that's the way it will look like. Then another way of that enhanced communication, the third method. The first one, remember, we said the first one is producing an identity picture, is one of the ways we have enhanced communication and we have enhanced means of communication. The second one is desktop publishing. The third one is website design. The third one is what? Website design. Website design. Okay, now on this, a website is a collection of web pages that provide a mixture of contents. A collection of web pages that provide mixture of contents. For example, in a website you find text, meaning a lot of things will be written. In a website you find images like pictures. You find a lot of pictures and graphics that will be displayed on the website. In the website you find animations, okay, animations like cartooning and other things. In the website you find videos, a video displaying, okay, maybe advertising a particular product. In a website you find audio, because you find some kind of audio, like where you can hear voice And then in the website you find hyperlinks to jump into other contents, to other website. They do some hyperlinks, they link some link or some other website to their website, so that you can, like university links, they provide links of scholarship, of organizations that are giving scholarship in their web page, so that when you click on those links, you can apply for scholarship. So all these are there in a website. They call hyperlinks. They link with the main website. They link with the main website. Now, websites are a fantastic way to communicate to people, since website can be accessed by literally millions of people all over the world, all across the world. So websites are now ways of communicating with people about your product. So if you have your product, you display them on the on your website. Okay, website, you log into website by using the World Wide Web, www. Okay, so wherever you have, whatever information you have, whatever product you have, you display this product in your website. Okay, so other people can see this product. So it's like you're communicating with the rest of the world, and millions of people will see your website and have knowledge, a basic knowledge about what you do and what you have and what you are displaying. Okay, so in some ways, websites are not as good as printed documents. Sometimes, okay, for rich people. For example, to view website, you need a computer. A lot of people in the third world nation, they don't have computer. A lot of people in the third world nations, they don't have computer. But nowadays, you can even use a phone. Phones are more or less computers now, mini computers. Smartphones are more or less mini computers. So the idea of needing a computer is almost in the danger. So we can access websites with our phones, with our smartphones. But previously, you need a computer, right, to access a website. You need a computer, which is expensive. So billions of people in the world do not have computer. So if you have a computer, you are among that have jumped to the other side of life. You are among those people that have moved to the other side of life. A lot of billions of people don't have a computer. Even billions of people don't have a phone, a smartphone. Probably they have an analog phone. The old people, the poor people in poor countries, many of them don't have a phone, let alone a computer. If you go to, I don't want to mention any continent, and I don't want to mention any country, but if you go to many countries and some continents, you still find that a lot of people don't have access to computer. Don't even have access, not even whether they have or not. They don't even have access to a computer. You go to many homes, they don't have access to a computer. So if you have an access, then you are on the other side of the divide. That's number one. So these are the challenges or the disadvantage of a website, because not everyone has access to your product. However, in today's world now, as it is, with the invention of a smartphone, Android smartphone or iOS smartphones, with this invention, websites are easily accessible. Okay, remember, this author must have written this information when smartphone probably were not there. Okay, maybe before the time of BlackBerry. Okay, so it was not easy. You have to have a laptop or a desktop, and even if you have a desktop, you have to have a wired network. So which was not really relatively easy in order to access website. Then another disadvantage in this kind of website in reaching other people, another disadvantage is that you need an internet connection. You need an internet connection. So it's not sufficient just to have a laptop or a smartphone. You need an internet connection. So if you don't have a Wi-Fi or you don't have a mobile data, you will not be able to access a website. So this is pretty much expensive, because in some homes, in fact, in some countries, they don't even have Wi-Fi companies, people to provide you Wi-Fi in order to access the internet easily. In some countries, the only thing that is available to everyone is the mobile data. You have to buy data and subscribe and be able to access the internet, which is quite expensive, okay, if you have to use it massively or extensively to browse. So this is another challenge, another disadvantage of having a website before now. But right now, it's pretty easy We have smartphones and we can subscribe with our mobile data. So it's kind of easy. It's for everyone. Then another disadvantage we used to have, you need some training to know how to use a computer. And you don't need training to read paper as long as you know how to read. Okay, literally, if you know how to read, you just read paper. But this was before now. Okay, this is way before now. Nowadays, you really relatively you use your phone, you learn on using your phone, and then you can browse with your phone. So this disadvantage are gradually cut it down. They are gradually cut it down. They no more too much of disadvantage. But before now, like let's say 10 years ago, these were serious disadvantages. But as of today, 2024, this is pretty much easy past thing. So it's not much a big deal right now. Now let's take a look at number 4. Let's take a look at number 4, multimedia design. Multimedia design is a way of communicating with others. So if you want to communicate with others, we can use a multimedia. Okay, multimedia refers to documents or software application that contain mixture of what? Mixture of text, images, animation, videos, and audios. So when you have a display, it could be a PowerPoint display, it could be whatever multimedia kits you are using, a display that shows text, that shows images, that shows animations, that show videos, and that show audios is regarded as multimedia. Multimedia applications are commonly used for training and education. That's why I say PowerPoint display. So when we make a PowerPoint presentation, or what you call presentation tool, okay, presentation tool. Example is a MS PowerPoint. So when you're making an MS PowerPoint, you make it in a way and make it like a multimedia compliance. Make it multimedia compliance in such that you have text, you write text, you put some images to make it a bit attractive or catchy. You put some animation, put videos, and put audio. So this gives it, this makes it inviting. This makes it inviting that a lot of people want to be compared to see what you have to show or what you have to sell or what you have that you are talking about. People want to listen because of the way your presentation is captivating. So if your presentation is captivating, a lot of people want to listen to you. A lot of people want to see what you have. Okay, you can see a good display here. See MTV Music Show News. MTV. Okay, so MTV is a TV that shows music and where people watch music and movies and so on and so forth. Okay, multimedia applications are commonly used for training and education purposes compared to learning from a textbook. So sometimes it's more interesting to learn with multimedia PowerPoint than to start to look for textbook to read. Okay, a well-prepared multimedia PowerPoint, it's easy to read and easy to understand because it attains images, it attains videos, short clips videos that gives brief explanation of the concept as you read. So it makes it easier than the print textbooks, okay, or like those days, because in print textbook most of the time you don't have the video to explain some concept, some basic concept. So this is where multimedia stands out. So okay, is that okay? So it's because when you compare it to learning from textbook, multimedia applications allow students to see animation. And animation of visual display makes the knowledge sticks to your memory. So it makes you see animation, video, and that makes the knowledge to stick to your memory. This can be subject to life and it makes it much easier to learn. Okay, yeah, we've already said this. Then the fourth one or the fifth one is creating music. So, okay, the information ICT helps us to create music easily. Now we have music studio where you use a lot of music software to create music and edit the music. You create it, edit it, and put remove till you get what you want, the outcome. So you can see how ICT has helped us to create multimedia design to create website, to create desktop publishing, to print, okay, ICT, to produce and edit pictures. So a lot, right? The usefulness of ICT or IT is overwhelming. Now let's take it, we say creating music. In the same way, it's now very easy to create printed documents using IT. So that same way that it's easy to create printed document, it has also become easy to create and edit music with the help of computers. With the help of computer, we can create music and edit music. Unlike those days that everything was manual. You have to get the band. Now you just select the hit, the beat. Now the already made beat, and you just rap on it or sing on it. In those days, you have to get those who will hit the bar, those who will play the piano, those who will click the strings, those who will, so many, you have to create your beat yourself locally. But today we have, with the use of ICT, we have already made beats that you just plug in, and then you begin, that matches your rhyme, and then you put it together and music is produced. So to produce music score, sheets of written notes, you no longer need to write every note down by hands. You no longer need to do that, or like those days where you have to. You can use what we call the Waidsum. That's we've said what that is. You can use what we call the Waidsum editor to write the music on the computer. So you can even write the music on the computer. You don't need to be writing a lot of notes down. Just use the Waidsum to write the music on the computer. Then you edit it, and then you print copies of it. Once you have music data in your computer, you can use the computer to play back the music. Okay, so this has made life easy. Now let's go to the next section, which is interactive communication. Interactive communication includes the social media things that we are doing or we are using. The social media things that we are using and the social media things that we are doing. Okay, so communication does not need to be one way. Okay, all these other ones we discussed, most of the time they are one way. They are one way. The website communicates with you, but you have no way to communicate back with them. Okay, the music is sent to you, you listen to it, but you have no way to communicate back to the producers. Okay, so most of the ones we've discussed, they are just one-way communication. Multimedia communicate with you, you have no way of communicating back to them. So all this one, the desktop publisher or printed books, you just read, you have no way of communicating back to them. Now we have what we call the interactive communication, meaning whatever source that communicates with you, you can give your feedback. So communication does not need to be one way anymore. It is in many of the above examples that we talked, they were one way. All the above examples we described, they were one way. But today, we now have a two-way communication. Two-way communication. When people create images, document, music, etc., they are communicating their message, but they are not listening to the responses or the feedback from the people that they've sent this music or this website or these images or pictures to. They've not heard from those people the feedback, whether what they've done is good enough or not. But today, we also now have other ways where people can communicate back with you. So with the rise of the internet, and especially the recent Web 2.0 websites such as wikis, blogs. You know, blogs, when a blogger posts something, you can comment. There's comment section. So there's now comment section. Like social networking sites such as YouTube, you can comment. Okay, on Facebook you can comment. Instagram you can comment. So you can make comments about whatever the topic is. That's, you're giving feedback to those who have sent you or communicated with you in the first instance. So these kind of communications, they're called interactive communication. They're called interactive communication. By interactive, we mean that the people can respond. They can respond to the information that they are given. They either add comment, or they alter, or they improve it, or they rate it. Okay, rating a given message or a given communication, rating a given communication, it's also a way of feedback. It's also a way of feedback. So now let's go to data handling. Let's move to data handling, the second part, 7.2. Okay, I think we're seeing 7.1. Now, why use computers to keep record? Let's be fast. Why do we use computers to keep record? First of all, data is that is stored on the computer is different from data that is just written and printed on paper, right? Just printed on paper, written on paper. They are two different things. Data that is stored on the computer, one is very organized, is already sorted in different ways, is displayed, can be printed and so on, can be searched, can be updated, can be backed up, can be stored, can be moved. Okay, so there are so many things you can do with data that you store in a computer. Even if it has been moved to the archive, you can retrieve it from the archive. You can back it up with other storage, maybe external storage devices. You can store them. You can even put them on Google Drive. Okay, you can search them sometimes. You can display them. You can print them. You can organize. You can sort them and so on. So many things you can do with data that is in your computer. Okay, it's different from the rigid data. What might you store on a computer? First, you can store your address book, right? Most of the time we store our address book. We keep all the contacts and the addresses of those contacts, especially the email addresses. You keep them in your computer. Okay, most people, they need to keep track of lots of telephone numbers. Okay, they have an address book where they have the phone number, email of people. They keep track of them, so they keep them in their address book, and they can reach them anytime, any day. Postal address, not only your phone number, your postal address and your email, they put them in address book. So we can use a computer. Don't forget that your phone is a computer too now. Yeah, I already said this earlier on. Phones are mini computers nowadays. That's why it's much easier. It's much easier for us to access anything, anywhere, anytime now these days. Okay, so a phone is a computer. We should keep that in mind. Okay, and it can help us to keep this data organized in an address database. Any data we have, the phone can help us. A typical computerized address book might store name. A good address book might store names, address of the individual, the phone number, maybe the home phone, the mobile phone, the phone number of the workplace, email address, birthday, photograph, etc. So a good address book has a soft address book, meaning the soft copy of address book. You can even download address book, and then you begin to save people's information. You put their name, their address, their physical address, like house address, their phone number, that's home phone number. Some people, they have home phone number, they have office phone number, okay, they have mobile phone number, okay. Many of us, we have these three. If you're working, you have these three. You have the home number from Unify, okay, you have the mobile number from your mobile telecommunication company, you have your work number from your office. Okay, so you have all these things. So some people can save all of this in their address book in case they cannot reach you with your home number. Maybe you've moved away, or they can reach your office, or you change your job, or they reach your mobile number. If they still cannot, they write to your email. So if you save this different version, the person might still be able to reach you if you change any one of the listed parts. So that's that for that. Now let's move to club and society records. Club society needs to keep track of their members. So a membership database allows the club or society to easily contact members, check that they have paid their annual due or monthly due. Okay, so if you are running a club like Rotary Club, I don't know if you've heard of Rotary Club, and different kinds of clubs. So entrepreneurship club, science club, golf clubs, where you play golf, or you gym club, where you go and gym. So the club owners will keep database where they will keep the details of every member of that club. Where they keep details of every member of that club. Okay, even the cinema club. Okay, top cinema. If you're a top users, they have your database. So any new movie, they message you. They message you that this movie is out. So if they know you're a movie lover, so they can have cinema club, and then they can have disco club, and they can have. There's so many clubs. There are good clubs. There are bad clubs. Okay, you can have clubs on so many things. You can have club for fun, club for networking, club for work, club for enjoyment, club for play, club for exercise, so and so on and so forth. And so when you're there, the member, they will keep your membership number, your name, your address, your phone number, fees to charge you or how much you're to pay, and have fees be paid, whether you've paid or yes or no. Okay, if you've paid, yes. If you've not paid, no. So they can track you, reach you, and I encourage you to pay. So if a letter needs to be sent to every member of the club, then the names and address will be sought after, right? You have to sort out from the database the name and address or email of such people so that you can disseminate information to them. And in doing that, you need a mail merge. This is what you do in ICT practical. A mail merge is in paper 2 of your ICT practical, okay? Where you're going to learn about mail merge for the purpose of this. This is called a mail merge. We say the names and address of the members can be taken from the membership database and automatically placed onto a letter. This is called a mail merge. So when you take something from a database and place it on a letter, when you take information from a database and copy it and put it on a letter, this is called a mail merge. This is called a mail merge. So when you merge the data and information from a database with a letter, it's called a mail merge. So with this mail merge, how to do mail merge, we're going to learn in ICT practical in paper 2. So a mail merge is a very easy way to automatically create lots of letters that seems to be personally written for each person, but in fact they are all the same letters, just with the name and address changed. Just name and address that is changed. So when they send you the letter, you think, this company is trying. This company wrote letter to all the members. They write each letter to every member of this club, or this club is trying. You can have a software farms club. You can have a farm club. All the farmers, they have club, and you'll be wondering, they could write letter to more than 100 members. No, they just did a mail merge. The only thing that is different when you do a mail merge is the name and the address, and it will sort it out. Everyone's name and address on the database will be merged to his letter. So it's one click. Okay, it's one click that produces those 100 letters. Okay, using what we call the mail merge. So we're going to do the mail merge practical probably this Friday. Now let's move to results of survey. ICT is also used for plotting or organizing the result from survey. Like survey could be giving questionnaires to people. You want to find out about something. Okay, you want to find out about something, and then you give questionnaire to people to fill for you, and then the result you get from it, you can come and process the data by typing in a computer, plotting bar chart and probably bar chart or line graphs, and analyze the results of what you get from it. Is that okay? Even in exams, when we write multiple choice exam, sometimes we analyze the results, okay, in the graph. Results are analyzed and seeing whether we're getting greater, we're getting better, or the outcome of the result, whether the system is doing well or not, whatever it is. So many group or organizations undergo surveys to try to discover what people like or what people think or what people hate, okay? Like for example, if you study a restaurant business, the people of that locality, you can do a survey to find out what kind of food they really vary to have, what kind of food they will love, what kind of drink they will like. Okay, you can be in some places and the sales of mineral drink may not be that much. It can be in some places the sales of specific things. If you do a survey, you find out they will not be great as you thought. So you have to do this little research before you do anything. So in that case, you do survey, and survey is performed using what we call the questionnaires, paper questionnaires, and then the results are entered into a computer by typing the data into the computer, and then by plotting them. And there are so many ways to analyze the data. Scanning the paper form using OMR. Okay. Another way to enter apart from typing it into the computer, you can use scan code. You know, when you scan anything, the data immediately goes in. So you can scan the paper form using the OMR technology, optical magnetic recognition, or something like that. So recognition technology. You can use this to scan, like the way they do in multiple choice. You do multiple choice exam, they do this, they scan it, and then they grade your result in this manner. So the result you get can be entered into the computer directly using on-screen form. Okay, like using a PC tablet. The survey results are best stored in the computer, and there we can easily plot them and analyze them. Okay, survey results on computer allow the data to be quickly and easily queried. We go to learn querying database in ICT. Okay, so they're easily queued and queried, that's filtered, and then they can be put in charts and to be easily created, and then summary report to be created also, so that you can give details of what you have done. Another way or usefulness of ICT is a sales record for a talk shop. So when you start a talk shop, you have to record what you are doing, what you're selling. So sometimes we use the Excel spreadsheet in Microsoft Excel to record our sales and do accounting work. You know, we can do the accounting recording, bookkeeping of our transaction, inventory, and everything in the Excel, Microsoft Excel. So you can see this here, ICT compliance. So if you want to get it better, make it better, your business better, you must embrace technology. Okay, IT technology, you must embrace. So a computer spreadsheet is a good way to record which items you have sold and which ones are performing very well and which ones are yet to be sold. Okay, and you can find the total and the averages of whatever you're doing. Now, a typical sales spreadsheet might contain the following column, like item code. Every item you put the code so that we know exactly what it is. The item description, item cost, number sold, total cost, profit made, and so on and so forth. Okay, now school report. Another way we use ICT is the school reports, report card, results, and so on and so forth. Okay, a school will typically keep data on students' academic performance. What you're doing, your quizzes, your tests, must be recorded to a computer, and then report card can be given to you thereafter, after every semester or every term. Okay, so schools have what we call computerized database, wherein they have to key in the result and generate the final report card for students to show how they're doing in school, whether they put the effort or not, whether they're doing great or not, or whether they improve it or not. The school has a way of keeping this record. So this is only possible with the advent of ICT or IT. The advent of ICT, we're able to do all of this. In those days, we write report card or results in using pen and paper to send results. But nowadays, we key in our results in a database. This will allow the schools to easily track the students, where they're doing or what they're doing, how they're doing as per the year and how they have progressed, and as well as making the creation of printed reports very easy. So if they want to print the report, it's very easy because they already have them in their database, and they can print, assign, and give to students to give to their parents. A typical school report database may contain the student ID, name, tutor group, grade for term 1, attendance for the term, comments by the teacher for the term 1, grades for term 2, and so on and so forth. So a school database should contain all of this heading subheadings. Most database programs allow data to be what? Presented in alternative design reports. Okay? So school database are very important today. You cannot run a school without having a school database where you keep the students' record. So these are only possible with the invention of IT technology. With the invention of IT technology. So it has made life easier, smoother, better. Okay? Now another application of IT technology is a school library database. Apart from school itself, we have what we call library. Library database is quite different and quite huge. Quite different and quite huge. In those days, we only have a physical library where you just go in and search, look for the book, move around, look for the book and borrow the book and read and return back to the library. Today we have a library database. You don't have to move around and be looking for the book. You just have to search the book in the database and tell you the location, the exact place where the physical book is. Okay? So even a small library such as the one in a school, primary, secondary school, needs to keep track of which books are available and who has borrowed any of the book and who has returned the one he has borrowed. Okay, so they need to keep track, and in doing this you need to have what we call a library database. You need to plug in maybe open source library database, or you need to have your IT team to develop a library database for you, or customize already existing library database online, customize it for your own use alone. Okay, so a typical school library system will store the following items: the book section, the borrower section, and the loan section. The book section, we have the ID numbers, we have the title, the author, the publisher, the fictions, yes or no, and the genre. Then we have the borrower section. We have the ID number of who has borrowed the book, the name, the class, the date of birth of the person, because some people's name they clash. So you have same name with other people, but they have, when they put your date of birth, they will know which of the Isaac borrowed the book. And then the fine to pay in case you don't return the book, the date that has been slotted in for you to return the book. And then on the low side, you have the book ID, the borrower's ID, the date borrowed, and the return date, whether it has been returned or not, yes or no. So a library database is very important for all of this. Is that okay? Okay, I think we can stop here, right? So on this note, we end this first section of ICT here. Thank you for joining us.